A lot of cliches rose up during the pandemic. Everyone who wants a job can get a job. The great resignation, the quiet quit. Even maybe people just don't want to work that hard.
But Eshawney Gaston can't turn down work. In fact, she's had to piece together different jobs to try and make a living wage.
I am a low-wage worker. Life as a low-wage worker is living paycheck to paycheck. I've done a lot of different jobs over the years. I've been in the healthcare industry, nursing aide, in-home aide. I've been in fast food, McDonald's, Burger King, Waffle House.
But none of those jobs have paid enough for her to have her own place. To survive, Eshawney lives with her mother and her son, who was born premature.
My son came out with issues, so he has to see a lot of specialists, and we go to the doctors a lot. Trying to juggle being a mom, a job, it's a struggle.
When we met Eshawney last summer, she was on her way to Zaxby's, a popular fast food chain in the South where she earned $12.50 an hour. She is one of more than 3 million fast food workers in this country who earn an average of just $26,000 a year. Though she'd been working at Zaxby's for 8 months, Eshawney says she didn't get employer-provided health benefits or paid sick days. Eshawney's on Medicaid and depends on WIC benefits for infant formula.
Each paycheck goes to bills, or it has a specific category, so once I finish, I have no money left over.
That means Eshawney has to make some tough choices daily.
Every day I have to schedule a doctor's appointment. It's a day that I'm like, okay, well, this is another day I'm missing from work. Is my job going to allow me to keep doing that? And I don't want to have to choose between my job and taking care of my child. That's something that nobody should have to do.
MIT calculated a so-called living wage for the country's largest metropolitan areas. In Durham, North Carolina, where Eshawney lives, a single parent with one child needs to earn $36.32 an hour just to meet basic needs like food, housing, transportation, and childcare. It's a depressing reminder that despite progress in some parts of the country, minimum wage remains stubbornly, unlivably low, and getting lower all the time if you factor in inflation. Eshawney finished working at Zaxby's serving food and then headed to her second job, packing picture frames in a warehouse on the night shift.
I work at this job from 4 p.m. to 2:30 a.m.
Juggling 2 jobs with little rest in between can wring a person out.
I'm taking the second job now because I want to get my life together. I want to get my own place, want to have my own car. I get tired of having to ask people for rides. I get tired of having to spend money on Lyfts and Ubers.
When I was a kid, people hustling multiple jobs did it to get ahead, not to endlessly march in place. Amid this crushing pace, progress feels elusive.
But here's the thing. Eshawney's low wages are subsidized in part by the very same taxpayers who may buy a chicken sandwich at a Zaxby's or buy a picture frame at a home decorating store. To survive, Eshawney relies on government programs supported by taxpayers, like Medicaid. The burden would be lifted if she just got paid more for the work she does.
Having to work multiple jobs is terrible. The next few days, I won't see my son that much because I have to work. That's crazy, like not being able to see him as much, having to miss out on certain things due to work. I refuse to do that, which is why I'm fighting. Hello.
Eshawney spends what little free time she has here at the Raise Up office. It's a worker-led organization fighting for a $15 federal minimum wage and urging low-wage workers to unionize. The federal minimum wage of $7.25 an hour has not been raised since 2009. The nationwide movement, the Fight for 15, started 10 years ago when 200 fast food workers walked off the job in New York City.
When I say raise up, you say turn up. Raise up! Turn up! Raise up! Turn up!
Today, the disruptions of the pandemic and rising inflation are further powering demands for higher wages.
The government don't care about us, neither do these corporations. I've seen how when workers come together, they can make change.
How about Eshawney?
Eshawney learned about Raise Up a few years ago while working at McDonald's.
McDonald's needs to step up to the plate, and so do all these other low-wage jobs, and give us what we deserve. We want 15, and we want it now.
Eshawney spread the word among her co-workers. Zaxby's salads and zappetizers, as they call them, come with a side order of underpaying workers. It's time for that to stop.
Some of our demands would be a $15 minimum wage and a union. We also want to have safer working conditions, better management, better scheduling. These are not things that we want. These are things that we need.
But a franchise chain is hard to fight. There's not one company and one boss, but hundreds of them.
This is what I'm going to do for the rest of my life. I'm going to fight for change.
Eshawney is now part of a growing movement of workers that rests on the shoulders of people burdened but hungry for change.